Hey, it's time, everybody. May I direct your mind and ears
to the center of the ring.
Al centro of the octagon, if you will.
Or maybe within the confines of the cage.
Remember, peeps, every fighter has a voice, and so do you on AM 1680. The Voice. The Voice. The Voice. The Voice.
With your fight-talking host,
Richard Ortiz.
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The Fighter's Voice. Right here, every Saturday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And again on Sundays from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here on The Fighter's Voice.
And we're live here on The Fighter's Voice live stream, AM 1680 in Fresno, California. We have a great show for you today, but before we get started, we got to pay some bills. Mr. Cole, knock them out.
Man, that's right. We got to knock out these bills. That's how we keep the lights on. As always, Serrano's Family Furniture, been doing it since '86 in Fresno, man. They got 9 spots. If you live in Bakersfield, Delano, Dinuba, here in Fresno, Hanford, Madera, Tulare, Visalia, Porterville, they got you covered. Family owned, 9 years. Those are your guys. And also Main Events Gym in Fresno. Don't forget, if you want to get a workout, hit them up.
There you go. One of the best gyms in Fresno, California with the most active professionals. Now, this evening's show is being streamed live on my Facebook page, Richard Ortiz, by the Fighter's Voice live stream team, with highlights on my Instagram page at the Fighter's Voice. Please share it, like it, and leave a comment for the Fighter's Voice live stream. Tonight's show is engineered by Jose Monroy. I think I said it right. Yeah, I'm getting close. In the cage, we have the co-host, UFC veteran, the Apache Kid himself, Co Escovedo, who'll be making you tap the entire show. Now with us tonight is Bellator's Chris the Cut Honeycutt, coming fresh off his victory last Friday in WinStar World Casino and Resort in Thackerville, Oklahoma. Also with us this evening, we have Kilo and Hector Madera. These brothers will be talking about their fight coming up this Friday in Stockton, California. So listen close, because we'll be giving out a set of tickets. That's 4 altogether, 2 sets of tickets. Whoever gives us the best question, because we're live streaming, ask us the best question, and you could win 2 free tickets for this Friday in Stockton, California. Now, I want to ask everybody in this house right now, Chris, how you feeling, man? I just got to ask you, because you've been eyeballing me since you got here, my man.
Yeah, I feel good. You know, I'm happy to be back in Fresno. Finally got that W. I know I was on not too long ago, and we were sitting here talking about options and different ways to, get a fight.
Did you consider the name?
The name,
the name. Did
Chris,
he tell you about the name?
Honeycutt.
What do you think about the name?
Honeycutt.
No, really? Man.
I feel like if I got to get the barbecue sauce first.
Oh,
We'll get
yeah.
barbecue.
Hey,
I gotta
meat
be
markets,
sold on
where
it.
you at?
Talking about barbecue sauce, we also got a segment coming up later on in the show. It's called MMA's Cole's Beatdown. Then he'll throw in the towel later on, because we start clowning people on activities that happen today. Just foolish things in the world. People do foolish things, like Donald Trump. He tried to touch another girl's hand or what have you. That's just foolish of the world. I like Donald Trump, but he's just easy to pick on. I really do. I really do. And I know you do, and I know you're going to bust out and you think that I don't like him. And I already saw those eyes. You're already challenging me. But I do want to say, Chris the Cut Honeycutt trains out of Fresno, California at Deep Throne MMA in Fresno, California. Like I said, the Bellator MMA welterweight is back in the MMA mix with his victory this past Friday. I can go on, but enough said. Now back to cage side. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards for your winner by unanimous decision from Fresno, California, Chris the Cut Honeycutt. And there you are. Let's talk about Friday. Let's talk about Friday, you getting back in the win column. You getting back to working. You getting back to doing what you do best, that's taking over the cage and being the boss in there. Take us in the cage with you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I got the phone call. I was a replacement for Leo. I still don't know who his original opponent was, but I got the phone call, asked me if I wanted to fight him, and that's an opportunity that I've been waiting for. I remember last time I came out, I told you I was in a fake camp. So I was pretending I was in camp just to keep my training, at a top notch. And just a couple weeks later,
In case a phone call comes.
I took on the short notice, which I already had a half camp behind it. So ended up becoming perfect. Went in there healthy and, took care of business.
I understand, and I'm going to leave this question for Cole, that you were so excited that you won. The blood was flowing. The energy was there that you went and just raised the bar and you called out someone special. But I'm going to let Cole beat down that segment. Cole.
Man, before we touch on that real quick, you said you were about halfway through camp. Did you get a full 8-week camp for that fight?
Yeah, I would give or take. I mean, probably even 10 weeks or so.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was kind of in a pretend camp in the beginning.
Maybe like a 4 to 5 week camp might be your peak target zone. You know what I mean? Like I was thinking, like if you only got 4 or 5 weeks in and did a good, adequate performance, then
well, just prior to that, I was just working on the baseline cardio, making sure I could, get the heart rate to 100, 110, and maintain it for 30, 40 straight minutes.
Okay, so then my next question. Now that we got that point out of the way, I wanted to cover the training segment part first. Maya, yeah.
He's got close to 1 million followers on Instagram. So
I know, true.
He'd be a good guy or
true.
Definitely a good guy for me to beat.
Agreed. A dangerous opponent, but I know the tone, like if you were wearing a blindfold, would be that I think it's a bad fight. But having a unanimous decision in your favor, not a split decision, shows that, last-minute replacement, couldn't really come up with a game plan for this specific guy. Maybe he was harder than we thought he would be, but you were able to dominate pretty much the whole time. So that shows that you're like, something went wrong with this fight, or I had to finish the guy. That's all it is. I just crushed your guy the whole time on short notice. So to call out a guy like Maya tells me that to be a late replacement on a submission guy shows, okay, maybe it's not that bad of an idea. Like, and in the big, like on a jump, like, oh, Damian Maya. Well, it's still just the man.
Well, that helps that I went against Rafael Lovato,
exactly,
and then Leo. So I mean, it's like I might as well
the submission thing.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, let me just get all the jiu-jitsu guys out of the way now and make some
room.
Well, listen, Chris, and I'm going to speak for you. You didn't wake up. You signed up for this business. You didn't wake up to take second.
No.
Okay,
no.
So you're calling them all out, and you're not calling them all out just to call them out. You truly believe that you're about to put the cut on this guy.
Well, I think it would have been kind of ridiculous for me to be like, oh, I deserve a title shot now.
Well,
I was on a 4-fight winning streak. I took a little bit of a hiccup, and now I got the ball rolling the right direction. The fastest way to the top is to get big names in.
Yeah, you let your fans ask for the title shot. You just keep doing work. That's all you do. You let your fans put the social media pressure on the organization to go, why doesn't he get a title fight? But you just keep winning. But Damian Maya would be a really good.
He definitely would be a test.
No, here's the thing. You beat Maya. You've either already had your contender fight, or you just set yourself up for a contender fight. That's the beauty of that. It's a win-win. Yeah, it's well, I don't even know if you'd be back at the top. I think you'd be at the top as far as because they're bringing him in to throw him into the contention ring to bring us some new blood. So I mean, they also brought over who else did they just pick up? Was it Belfort?
Yes,
they just picked up Belfort after the Machida loss, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
So, but Maya went for. Maya went for, I think, personal reasons. Like, I think there was a business disagreement. Really, I think he still has value on a large screen. So I think he'll do great at Bellator, and that's a good win to have.
Now, listen, he's going to look past you. They're not going to give you a shot, that's when your blood starts going, and that's when momentum goes, and you show them exactly what you're made of, because you got to be careful what you ask for. You might just get it.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping you
that's
do.
That's how you get like a 2-week notice for morale. Yeah, that's how that happens.
Yeah,
dude, shit goes down like that.
If I had 2 weeks today, that'd be awesome, because that'd be a fast.
Well, yeah,
turnaround.
you're at the peak turnaround time.
Yeah,
so,
haven't been out.
Did they say anything to you? Did the Bellator promoters?
No, they were just congratulating me on a good performance compared to the previous fight. Was so boring that I think they're happy to.
Well, anytime
I cracked them open, and
like I said, you dominated the whole time. It's just a matter of putting the right camp together with the right timing, the right opponent. Things change. You took it on last minute. So to just crush them the whole time just shows that give me an opponent I can specifically train for, dude, and I'll beat anybody you put in front of me. Because again, nobody likes winning decisions, but it's when it's a split decision where you kind of go.
I'm surprised he lasted that long. I thought for sure
he'd
going
break
to the second round that he eventually would just give up.
Yeah, exactly. So when you just crush a guy the whole time, it just says that maybe the guy's just got super heart, and if I just trained specifically.
That's good for you. After the long layoff, what good is it for you to go in there and knock the guy out in 30 seconds? You got some work in. You got the cardio. You got the movement. Shake all the rust out. There was no rust. Your cardio was on hit. That was a good comeback fight for you. And I want to say comeback because you were kind of waiting a while. And I know knockouts are good. We'll argue that. But I'm looking at a management standpoint.
Fight, just get in there and get it done because you're making a statement.
Well, exactly.
You go in there and
but he was off for so long. So
just
you got the rounds in. You got some rounds in, and that's good.
Yeah. I think
Well,
you
stop
go out
saying
and
that
knock
again.
someone out in 30 seconds, and it's like, well, I mean, is he really that better of a fighter, or did he just get caught?
Okay, I can see. I can see that.
When you crush someone for the full 15, then you can't.
No, you can't. That's what I'm
say,
saying. You can't deny.
He had a bad day.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can't deny a unanimous decision. That just says I beat your guy the whole freaking fight. I just didn't finish him. That's all it means. That's all it means. Is I spent 3 rounds beating on this guy in front of you for the TV value.
Yeah.
So, but no, I like the Damian Maia thing. On paper, it looks scary to hear him call out Maia and be like, oh, it's Maia. But if you really look at it and look at his past 3 opponents, all the dangerous level they had as far as jiu-jitsu and experience level, and he's just kind of gone, it's really not that far-fetched. It's really not.
Chris, in 30 seconds, tell us, what was it like being back in the cage?
No, it's like being home again. It's like going away, and then
Can that be your walkout song?
Do you want to be in my walkout song?
Oh, I'd ride your shoulders.
Oh,
That'd
my
be
gosh.
so weird.
It is here. Hey, just to let you guys know, you can't see on set, but Chris's girl is here, and she's kind of getting upset. She's about to tap out Cole right now if he keeps it up. So, yeah, I seen her in action, too, man.
That's why I brought her, because you almost gave my phone number out.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
bro.
That's my bad. She's right. Actually, I didn't give it all, though, did I?
No, you missed the last 4 digits, but you were
Oh,
close.
shoot. I was pretty freaking close, huh?
Yeah,
that
close.
was my bad. And you know what? Yeah, I guess you can tap me out. Man, I like to roll with you just for fun. As long as you don't hurt me, you know what I mean? I may surprise you.
Maybe.
But you know,
crank on it a little
yeah, well,
long,
no, don't
maybe,
crank
and
on
then
that right
let
now.
go.
You know what? Right now, we're going to crank on these commercials. We're going to come right back here on 1680 AM, The Fighter's Voice. Voiceography at its finest. Every fighter has a voice, and so does Chris the Cut Honeycutt.
You are listening to The Fighter's Voice on AM 1680.
Right now, we gotta take a break.
Pay some bills. So be ready for some head banging, lip smacking, heart attacking, fight talk. Because every fighter has a voice.
Buddy, if I had heard it over the radio, I've done that before, and I give it to my one boy, and he just spams that number out, and the next thing you know, dude,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready, my man.
She's been livid. Who is this?
Oh, that was my bad. Yeah.
oh yeah. I
That
imagine
was my
you'd get a
bad.
few just random those, but you're gonna get most of the. Hey, dude, does my taint looking back then? Just shit like that, bro.
Yeah. I oughta
You'd have to get a whole new number, bro.
I blew that one. That was a rookie move on that one.
Oh, yeah, that's what she's upset about.
Oh.
She's like,
My
why
bad.
didn't you correct him? I'm like, I don't know. Why would I correct him?
Oh, I started some bullshit, huh?
Huh?
I started some. Wow. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's go. I got to get out of here.
Oh man.
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The Fighter's Voice. Right here. And remember, every fighter has a voice. And so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here on The Fighter's Voice.
And we're back here at 1680 AM, Fresno, California, The Fighter's Voice, AM 1680. That sounds a little better. This is part 2, and it's called The World of MMA, and it's sponsored by Cole's Beatdown. Cole, start us off by beating us all down and let us all know what's going on in the MMA world.
Well, real quick, we'll do a real quick recap of last week's Bellator. We've already talked to Honeycutt, so we already know about his decision and the call out to Mai on that one. What else happened this past weekend? McDonald fought when we had him on a radio show. Dude, this was like,
And we were talking about his nickname.
yeah,
and he
we were
lived up
talking
to
about
it.
like this first round, first punch crap that you hear every now and then. Like that's what happened. Like I watched the replay of it. Like it was first punch, first exchange. That was it. And so it's like, if it were like a random guy, I'd be like, ah, man, bad night. Way to take a bad ace on the river or something, right? But it's Mikey. So to see first round, first hit, like, no, like, remember I told you, there's this magic window of like 30 to maybe a minute if you're slow. But there's like this magic window where you crack a dude, if he hasn't got his game face on yet and it takes him a second to get that going, you're going to catch him. We used to have a guy on our team like that Pat Murphy. You'd put him down, and if he survived that, that's it, dude. You lost. He was no, because you couldn't put him down from there on out.
Yeah.
It's
That
like
was a
his
wake-up call.
Kind of like
jaw
Forrest
locked.
Griffin in a way. Remember,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was
Yeah.
kind of like slow, but once
Yeah.
he got his nose
Good
started
analogy.
bleeding.
Once you got him going, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in a fight,"
Yeah.
and then he was on from there.
And he
So,
starts walking through punches.
so Mikey that's what he does. He just comes right at you, and he
Doesn't let
doesn't
you off the
feel
hook.
you. No, there's no like feel you out with a guy like Mikey and guys in that team and stuff. It's just we come right at you, and that's it. I've already felt you out. That's it. I'm coming to put my game on. Either you're going to be able to survive what I do to you, or you're not. Have a bad day. So,
and in doing so, let's talk about the concern after.
Yeah, exactly. So by doing that, I don't know if he broke that right hand, but he's had problems with one of his, I think it was his right hand. And he was saying that in training or something happened, and in that exchange, it broke. So now he's got a problem with his other hand now. So he's kind of debating this whole, at this point, man, I can't make money off of what I like doing for a living. That's the gift that he's a very religious guy. So the gift that his God gave him, he can no longer do it. So he's now debating, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to do. Maybe this isn't my true mission. Maybe this is just what I was supposed to do as one of God, in his eye, one of God's soldiers, to get a following of people that would listen to, like I said, like I was telling, what's his face's brother, a voice that people will listen to. And Mikey's one of those other guys that people will listen to. They just flock to him naturally. So when he speaks, people listen. So maybe a different direction in life.
Honestly, I'm not telling him to hang it up at all, but he is so intelligent. He does have a future in broadcasting.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I've talked to Mikey on several occasions, one-on-one and stuff. The kid literally has a roofless ceiling. Like, as long as he wants to do something, like I've seen things that he just builds because he wants to build them. So his potential, his craftsmanship, his ability to do stuff, his ability to speak and have people listen to whatever he has to say is going to direct him. And it's just, so he's on this fence right now. If his body's going to keep breaking kind of thing, and does he want to do it? Should he keep doing it? Can he make a life somewhere else? So that's where he's at on that. So, but along those same lines of people looking at on the fence stuff, you've got Holloway. That happened this past weekend. So Holloway, I haven't read really too many articles. I read one main article and it talked about it was like a mini stroke is what they were saying he suffered kind of thing on that weight cut he had. So it was like a mini stroke is what they're saying. So I don't know if
we
it's
were just
true.
talking about it last show. Remember, I brought it up because not even to interrupt,
but the weight cut stuff.
Yeah, because of the weight cut.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So that's a prime example, and so I don't know if that's true. I've never known Holloway to really lie about anything. Somebody will have to correct me if you've ever been caught like straight lying about stuff in the media. But so for him to say that and him to say I might just walk away says that it might be a serious thing. And like I said, there's always that one fight too many. And to look at it and go, dude, if he really just had a mini stroke, if I had a mini stroke cutting weight, I'd be done. Oh, okay, I take that back. I stand corrected. No, I wouldn't. I've been paralyzed. And I said, no, screw it. So to have a mini stroke would be a moment, though, for a lot of guys to step back and go, maybe it's time to stop. That might be the thing. So for him, that might have been his thing. That just, hey, I don't know if he's got kids or wife or whatever. They might all say, hey, dude, you just had a mini stroke. We're done. You have enough
reality
money
there.
Yeah. So reality will really knock on your door if that's what really happened. And so if somebody has something different, correct me. But as it goes right now, that's what it was. So that's kind of what we had going on this weekend.
Hey, you heard it right now. That's called Cole's Beatdown. Now, speaking of beatdown, how was your weight cut going into this? We talked about it a little bit, and you all you said was, "Hey, I'm a wrestler. I have my views. This is what I do. You've been doing it for years."
Yeah, I mean, I did my whole life, so it's all about people understanding their body, doing the practice cuts, so that you're not just like, oh, I'm up 20, 30 pounds, and I haven't seen that weight class in years, but I'm just gonna go do it all in a couple of days.
It's called float where you fight. Like you kind of live around what you fight at.
Yeah, you can't really. I mean, I guess it's possible, but some bad things happen when you do that. This last fight, I was about, 15 and a half over when I got there on Tuesday or so. Then you work out 2-3 times a day and you kind of just gradually come down, but I didn't miss a single meal. I didn't go to bed hungry except for the night before weigh-ins, which I had made weight at 9 a.m. the next day.
What's that like? What's having a week of weigh-ins without missing meals? What's that like?
A week without meals?
Yeah, like what's that like? Like you don't miss meals, like you get to eat food. What's that like?
Oh, it's a world of difference.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm still hungry a little bit because I'm not able to just eat till I'm full.
Do you notice a difference? Like, are you hangrier more often? Do you find that your patience level is shorter?
I get quiet. I just stop. I just don't
Very
talk.
observant.
I just give looks.
Well, exactly, and I know that look because I received it as soon as you walked in the studio and we started talking about me giving out your phone number. You got in here. Yeah, the fight's over. Ding, ding. You won, my man.
Sweating over here.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
No, that
106
he still has that fight.
Dude,
you know what?
Yeah, welcome.
Maybe we should give him more time
Fresno,
to relax before we bring him back in after a fight because he hasn't turned off the switch yet.
Well, dude, it's like I don't think that's. I think it could be 3 months later, and he's used to be like, "Hey, I remember when you almost gave out my phone number, bro."
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
my
that's
You're
not
4 digits
like
away.
it could be a media guy away on some interview one day who said something. I've had media guys like that before who like say just ridiculous things, and you're just like, "What?" And then from there on out, you just don't like that media guy, and you run into him again when you fight for an organization. You run into him.
Yeah,
you're
but
just
I'm
like, I
not
don't
that
like
guy.
I have one of
I'm not
those,
that
but I'm
guy.
not going to mention his name on air.
Man.
Oh, do you? Well, hey, let's mention it
Oh,
on the Fighters Voice radio show.
man.
Who do we need to stay away from?
Stay away from. You got to stay away from the UPC.
The UPC.
The UPC up and comers. What would he be called? I wouldn't call him an owner because it's kind of too high.
I
of a
know
spot.
exactly what you're talking about.
Do I drop his name on the air?
Well,
I guess kind of gave it away from
Well,
everyone knows.
you already
already.
said it right now.
Oh, I
and,
said
okay,
it.
well,
Oh.
okay.
Well,
I
now
will-
here's
okay.
the thing. Okay, here's the thing. There's
I could comment on that.
You can say-
because I worked for him and didn't get paid.
Yeah.
You can save face on that because there's a couple guys that work for that organization that you can just say, look,
Okay, we'll leave it alone.
I've just had problems with that particular organization is what you could say.
Yeah.
I think in the stretch of bridges and future opportunities,
yeah. Okay.
Maybe for him, not me.
well,
That bridge is burnt.
That's
you
called
never
career
you never
suicide.
know. You know, I've heard that about a couple promoters too, and then I ended up fighting on one of their cards at the fairgrounds. So
I won't find this promoter's card.
You know
it's
what?
to-
It may
yeah.
change you as a man and as a human being because
yeah.
you're going to say, I want to see it in writing and I want it right up front.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
changing.
yeah.
You learn
Yeah,
from
yeah.
it.
Well,
now, if
yeah.
you have not learned from it, said, okay, sure, I'll do it. Would I meet you out to get paid? No.
Yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
it says, okay, I'll take half right now.
Up front.
Yes, exactly. And
Yeah,
where do I
up
sign?
front.
Okay, where do you sign? So it makes your awareness become a smarter person. So that's the bridge you don't want to burn. I didn't say his name.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it
all
at
I'm
that.
saying is like but here's the thing. If let me put it this way.
Wait, hold on a sec. Speaking of that, though, we did have a good
Man.
time in San Diego, though.
Oh,
Remember?
we had a blast there.
Yes, we did. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead,
we-
Cole. my
What I was
bad.
gonna say is it's like having a job and then leaving that job to go to a job in the same industry. If you speak ill of that last boss, your new boss is gonna look at you and go, "Okay, so when you leave me, you're gonna speak ill of me too." And I'm not saying. Do you get what I'm saying? It's that
yeah, I get
same
what
kind
you're saying,
of.
but that's like you leaving and then you find out that your former boss stabbed you in the back, and you find out later on.
I don't know. I don't know. Just in the industry I've come from, you just say, "Okay."
Yeah, we'll just leave it at what
You
it
just-
is.
Yeah.
Who brought this
He-
up? Cole, let it go, man.
Dude, I'm not the one who brought it up.
He mentioned
Cole
it.
keeps bringing
You-
Cole
you-
wants
you
to start
guys
some
are the-
freaking
And I
I
just
would
know
say in
what you
Spanish,
mean.
but it's still a bad word, and I don't want to say that. You know, speaking of bad words, I'm going to say a good word. We'll be coming right back here on 1680 AM, the Fighter's Voice, voiceography at its finest. Every fighter has a voice, and so do you.
You are listening to The Fighter's Voice on AM 1680.
Right now, we gotta take a break. You know.
Pay some bills. So be ready for some head banging, lip smacking, heart attacking, fight talk. Because every fighter has a voice.
Yeah.
He
I've worked
wanted to have me up
several
at
shows
one of
for
the
his
fights.
doing commentary.
Because he apparently ordered a second belt, so he invited me up to one of the shows. He's like, "Hey, can you bring the belt? I want to give it out because the belt that I had made, the next belt I had made, didn't come in yet. So we'll
So we wanna
borrow
borrow
it.
your
We'll give it
belt
to you,
to-
and then
like
we'll give
a
it back to you. I'll come
showpiece.
home."
Yeah.
Well, last minute things happened. I couldn't make it, so he came to pick the belt up. I said, "All right, just bring it back tomorrow." No answers for. I mean, I haven't seen him since. It's been over a year and a half, 2 years.
Press the first clear one on the bottom.
No texts. No answering calls.
You know, it'd be one thing if, like, say the guy he let borrow it has just started to dodge him, so he's like, I can't get it back from the
Yeah,
guy.
but then
Like,
that was the
but to
case.
dodge
Then you'd
you,
think to say that, then he would just at
you'd
least
at least
tell
get
him.
something and be like, hey, dude, if you want his number, here's his number, bro. He's got your belt.
Or
so
yeah, I
something,
mean,
but it's like I've tried everything I could do. I've called his gym, I've called his
Yeah.
coach, all that stuff. But it's different when they just
there-
dodge you.
No words. So I get it. I mean, by all means, it's a UPC belt. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
No, I understand.
But there's a little bit of a principle there.
No,
too.
I understand. Are you convinced 100% that you still have the correct number?
Oh no, I know it's his number. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not
He's-
defending the guy. I've done business with the guy before.
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
never, knock on wood, I've never had any
Hey,
bad
what's up,
business
Kilo?
dealings with
No,
Jason.
he was cool as hell up until then.
Hey, I'm going to put you on hold right
Then
now,
it just was a
and
no
you'll
show.
hear the intro, and then I'm going to
I
bring
mean,
you in and you're going to join us.
I know he left a few things in his house.
Yeah.
when he
I'm
went
going to give
down
you a
to
whole
LA for a
segment,
show.
and then we're going to go commercial, and then your
Before I
brother's
head
coming
down,
in.
I actually
Your brother have a whole segment too.
broke into his house for him.
Yeah.
To
So right
grab
now,
the
you-
things
put
that
you on
he
hold. Hold on one
forgot.
second.
And I
So
drove,
bring you on
and
hold?
then I drove down to San Diego. So I mean,
So just hang up
it's
now.
not like I'm just a promoter that
Hold on
I'm
real
just
quick.
throwing to the bus. here.
No,
It's
no,
like,
no, no. I know.
We've
Yeah.
I would actually
It'd be
consider
like
that a true friendship.
Stevenson throwing one
And
Yeah,
together.
like a
press,
true friendship. And
activate the one that
we would
says
meet up
1
and
by
have
6.
lunch or meet up
Yeah.
at Starbucks and have a cup of coffee from time.
Kalos, 1 by 6.
So we were more than just me fighting on
No,
the show.
so I
and,
can understand the feeling of beyond business kind of backstab.
But it's not new. I mean, he did it to him.
Okay.
Did
Let's
to
do
me.
it. Let's
There's
go.
one fight that he still hasn't paid me for, that my manager paid me for instead. But
rock
I
and
mean,
roll.
like I said, I'm not gonna sleep over it. But
No, yeah, but it's
I mean, I'm not giving him any positive.
it's like the
shout-outs
big it's like the
either.
big worms principalities.
Rock and roll. I can't wait for this mix.
I wouldn't be his friend if I didn't like.
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The fighter's voice. Right here. And remember, every fighter has a voice. And so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here on the fighter's voice.
And we're back here live streaming here on AM 1680. And I'm about to break a fight between Cole and our guest, Chris, the Cut, Honeycutt. But this is part 3, and it's called The Brothers Are Back. And yes, the brothers are back. Our next guest will be our main event this Friday in Stockton, California, as he wants to keep his win streak alive as he climbs back into the ring for the first time as the main event of the evening. This 209 native is no stranger to letting his hands go. And this is what's coming his way. And he promises this Friday that it'll be no holds bar. He's willing to even he said, Richard, I'm willing to even die inside of the ring, but I'm not going to let him go through all that. I can go on and on and on, but I'm going to let our engineer give him a proper introduction. And now back to ringside. Stand by, Kilo.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your main event of the evening, introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing green, white, and red, official weight 160 pounds, from Stockton, California, Kilo, the Kid Madera.
How we doing, Kilo?
Hey, what's up, Richard? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Hey, I just want to let you know, here in studio, we got Bellator MMA's Chris the Cut Honeycutt, and we also got the Apache Kid, Co Escovedo, who is a UFC veteran. They're here to hear your story, man, your testimony. Walk us through exactly what it's like during fight week for Kilo the Kid Madera, who's a badass from the 209 Stockton.
Oh, man, shout out to those guys in there, man. We all know the grind, man. It's a fight week, man. It's probably one of the most stressful weeks. You got to make cut weight, and it's the final seasoning to pretty much a long camp, and it's just pretty much whatever you didn't do, it's too late to do it now. It's fight week, baby. It's time to fight.
Pretty much.
You know, Cole's here, and so is Chris. So at any given time, you want to ask a question, one of these guys, feel free, because they're listening, or they may chime in themselves. But I got to ask you this question right now, because I've known you for a while now. A top-ranked fighter, fighting on some big 15,000-plus, going toe-to-toe with the smoke show in Fresno, California that was televised. But I got to ask you this. This has to be the icing on the cake. For the first time ever, you get the phone call to be the main event. But not only that, the main event in your hometown of Stockton, California. Tell us, what was that phone call like?
It was like a bittersweet feeling at the same time because it was great. Obviously, I was super excited for my fight, but at the same time, I had to choose between fighting at the Safe Mart Center in Fresno and fighting out here. And I wish the time was more separate so I could fight on both of them. You know, they both meant a lot to me. One was a world championship card, and one was fighting in my hometown. But ultimately, we almost ended up doing the Save Mart, but different things didn't go through. But luckily, everything went great, and I got to fight in my hometown just like we planned, because we had already planned for a long time to fight out here. So as soon as I got that chance, you know, and everything was going through, man, it's just I'm glad that I'm making this move, getting a lot of exposure in my hometown. I'm on billboards, and just a lot of people who haven't seen me fight that didn't even know that there was fucking hitters out here.
Hey, watch the F-bombs. The only F-bomb is the fighter's voice. We'll take that one off. Good thing we'll stream right there. Yeah, but
we gotta like pre-screen our callers so we can let them know ahead of time.
Exactly. But check this out. After we're done with the radio version, you're going to be a part of the first podcast that we're going to start as just a sample, so then you can let them all fly, but just not right now on the radio show. I want to ask you this. Not only that, this is icing on the cake. Your younger brother, Hector, he's on the same card, so both you guys get to fight that same night in your hometown of Stockton. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, that's another great thing, man. When my brother first made his debut in his first 2 fights, we fought at the Tachi Palace Casino together, and that was good because
I remember that
we were making a wave together. He was getting wins, I was getting wins, and we had the thing rolling. And then you know how it is. You come across stumbling blocks, and we just got to keep moving, keep pushing through. He had a few injuries, but now he's back, ready to go, and we're both ready to put on the show for our hometown, and just really ready to for double the exposure to kick off. He's ready to do work, I'm ready to do work, and at the end of the day, man, we just want this whole thing to explode and shoot to the top and be known as the best.
I want to ask one of our guests this. This question is for Chris Honeycutt. Chris, fighting in your hometown, what type of pressure do you feel? Because you fought in your hometown for Bellator at the Save Mart Center.
Yeah.
What kind of pressure is that?
No, it's good. It's all positive. It's positive pressure. I mean, to know you go out there and everyone that's watching, they're on your side. They're when they say your name, you expect the cheer. You hear the rumble.
Yeah.
When they say the other guy's name, you hear minor claps and probably some booing.
Yeah, you do.
It's nice.
When you're the out-of-town guy, it sucks.
It's nice to be loved.
I guess my question is this, Chris. What advice would you give, if you can offer some, to Kilo, who's fighting in his hometown for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta. You just gotta take it as. It's your fan base. I mean, that's something when they get loud and wild. That's for you. That should motivate you, and want you to get after it even more. And God forbid your opponent gets 1-2 punch combo and they make some sound. It's like that's not a big deal either. They're on your. I mean, the fans aren't going to change throughout the fight. They're not going to. They're not like football where there's bandwagon hoppers at the end of the season. They're on your side for good.
Kilo, what's your take on that when you hear that? I mean, you're in the ring, and I don't, for the most part, you're focused. Do the cheers and boos get you at all? Are you feeling anything fighting in your hometown for the first time?
Nah, I feel pretty normal. I mean, I feel like the experience that I have, even though I'm not from Fresno, but I have a big fan base in Fresno, and I was when I went against Joe Lopez, I was pretty much the underdog, and a lot of the fans were his, but I had my fans too. But there was a lot of booing for me too. But I try not to let that even get to me. Just because I'm in their focus, and at the end of the day, like I'm just focused on kill mode. If I let that get to me, then I feel like I'll lose my focus, And I don't know. I sometimes if when the crowd starts screaming my name, Kilo, Kilo, Kilo. I mean, obviously that feels good, but I just got to keep my focus more than anything, because you can't let the fans get to you at the same time either, because you don't want to lose your focus. Like I said, you don't want to get distracted. You want to just stay focused on your game plan and fight your fight and just do your thing, because you don't want to make a mistake, by losing focus.
Cole, what's your take on that when you hear that? Is that safe to say? Is there any additional pressure fighting at home?
Yeah, there's always going to be pressure. It's just a matter of how you respond to that pressure, how you digest it, how you take it. It's going to be case-to-case basis. Some people are going to be more nervous. Some people are going to be, obviously like him, he's going to be more motivated because he's basically giving his friends and family an opportunity at front row seats to an ass whooping that he's going to hand out. So, but the thing I like about him is it's brothers, and it's Stockton. Yeah. And Stockton, we all know, has a history for having brothers that just happen to be great fighters. So I think it'd be a good card for him. I think it'd be a good opportunity for him and his brother. Actually,
Kilo, you know what? Off the subject, you sparred with Nate Diaz, correct?
Yeah, I have.
And what's your take on
good friends of ours, Nick and Nate?
What's your take on that? Because we've always said that he would be successful in the boxing ring. What's your take on that?
I think he would too. I mean, motherfucker's tough as fuck.
Hey, got that F-bomb right there, my man. Come on.
But
I strike two. You're going to cost me a show right here, baby.
He's got long arms, right? He's got a lot of reach. He can hit you from across the ring. That's always been my view of him and his brother as far as transitioning over to your world, would be the reach that they have.
Hey, Kilo, you know what I like about you? That you're able to speak freely, and I want you to speak freely. And thank God that we are taping, so we can erase that. But after the show, after this commercial, and after I talk to your brother, I want you to stay online because we're gonna roll this 5 minutes after, and then you can let them all go because I want to ask you some deep down questions. But right now, I got to be the guy to kind of stop this right now. Kilo, come on.
I apologize, man.
It's all good. You know what?
I do it all the time.
Right?
I know it's fight week. Is it fight week?
It's fight week.
It's fight week.
Friday night we get down.
That's right. And I understand, hey, you got the blood flowing. You're good to go. And, I want you to stick around. We're going to take a commercial break, but I want to keep you on the line because we're going to bring your brother Hector back in, and then we're going to close the show back with you. But right now, I got to knock these bills out right now, and we'll be coming right back here on 1680 AM, The Fighter's Voice, or AM 1680. We'll be coming right back.
You are listening to The Fighter's Voice on AM 1680.
Right now, we gotta take a break. You know.
Pay some bills. So be ready for some head banging, lip smacking, heart attacking, fight talk. Because every fighter has a voice.
How many more days till the podcast? In August.
I don't
Third
know,
week
bro,
of August.
but I don't
Third
need a
week of
swear
August.
jar.
Third week of August.
Everybody else needs a swear
Third
jar.
week of
I
August.
get a swear jar over there. Like the first week or two, I was dropping F-bombs like they were bad college grades.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
So I don't really swear that much, but every once in a while,
Dude,
one
man.
comes
Whenever
out.
you're ready, Jose.
But when I think about it, it's when I want to say it more. When I try not to say
Yes.
Right?
Hector.
Because the only thing that's coming to my mind is the words that I can't say.
Yeah. Like a 5-year-old.
Oh, you're going to take us, it's going to be called the last round, then you're knocking out the sponsors in this last round.
Okay.
Okay?
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The Fighter's Voice. Right here. And remember, every fighter has a voice. And so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here on The Fighter's Voice.
And we're back here at AM 1680, The Fighter's Voice. Voiceography at its finest. Every fighter has a voice, and so does our guest who just hung up the phone. Now, I hope he didn't. He's on the phone still. That was Kilo the Kid Madera. Now, this is our last round segment, and it's sponsored to you by Cole's Beatdown.
Man, and it's right. Like a good coach, last round, they're there to support you. Serranos have been helping us keep the lights on and keep these mics filled with our words rich. Since 1986, man, for 9 years, 9 great locations, they've been doing this. South Cal, Bakersfield, Delano, Porterville, anywhere from Fresno to Bakersfield, they got you covered. So you don't have to drive far. Usually they got a spot in your hometown. And also, guys, Main Events Gym. Remember, you want to go and get your sweat on, go hit them up, give them a chance.
Big Al and Tommy Avalos, one of the top trainers here in Fresno, California. Thank you, Cole, for knocking out those sponsors. Are you there, Mr. Hector?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you
there
on
he
the
is.
line? Hector, you're alive. Hector. Hector, you know what? You put up a good fight against Achilles, but Achilles just had your number on Troy, man. I'm just giving you a hard time. And I know that you got your fight face on, and you're a little edgier than your brother. But welcome to the show, Hector.
Thank you, man. How you doing? It's been a long time since I've seen you.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. But you know what? I'm going to be seeing you soon this Friday, and I want to talk to you about your undefeated streak. First of all, you're undefeated, and I believe all wins are by knockout?
I got 2 wins by first round knockout. My last knockout in Mexico was by 8 seconds.
Okay, well, there you go. Man, that was easy work, I guess you would say, or just letting those hands go. You know, you got a big boxing event happening this Friday in Stockton, California, and, you know, you're here. You took time out of your training. I know you got a little bit of weight to cut and to stay focused. I know you guys had to change some things up today. So here at the Fighter's Voice, we appreciate that. And I want to show you how much we appreciate that. Are you ready, Mr. Engineer? And now back to ringside. Stand by and peep this.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, his record a perfect one. Official weight 147 pounds. From Stockton, California, Hector Madera.
How does that sound to you, my man?
It was cool.
It was cool. Okay, well, you know what?
Yeah.
And I'm glad. So I got to outdo that this Friday then when we do it live, right?
Yeah, this Friday we're gonna do one live. Oh yeah, when you come down to the fight.
That's right. Yeah, Stockton, California. So you know what? You're so focused. You're not even worried about getting your name announced or this or that. You're just focused on the fight. I could appreciate that and respect that. And we have in studio with us, we have Chris the Cut, Honeycutt, and we also have a UFC veteran, the Apache Kid, Co Escovedo. So they're going to be joining in right now. But I want to pick your brain a little bit about this. Kind of just take your mind off your fight for about maybe 2 minutes. Chris the Cut Honeycutt, before it's all said and done, wants to put the boxing gloves on and go into the boxing ring. What advice, Hector, do you have to give to him from mixed martial arts to the boxing ring?
I suggest him just keep his hands up, work a little behind his jab, and just go all power with his punches. that knockout will come for the UFC fighters.
Ask you Bellator MMA fighters. What's your take on that, Chris?
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that a lot. I notice, especially when I get in the ring and I'm just boxing, it's like I tend to want to look at their, like a T, look at the shoulders and their midsection, because you're always looking for that leg to come out so you can kick them. And boxers have that different stance. I'm always wanting to kick that front leg out. So when I make that transition, I need to stand a little more straight up, and there's a lot more arm cardio I noticed too, because you just throw hundreds and hundreds of punches instead of a lot less feints. I feel like boxers are a little more honest than a guy in MMA.
Yeah, feints cost energy in that world. You're wearing them heavy old gloves. It costs.
What do you guys wear? Are you guys wearing 10-ounce gloves, Hector, or 8?
I'm wearing an 8 ounces, 47 and 54s. That's when
they go to 10.
Come on.
That's right. Now I want to ask you this: what can the fans expect? What can the fighter's voice expect? What can everybody expect once Ector Madera walks inside the ropes Friday night?
Like always, I think I'm gonna get a knockout in under 2 minutes, I'd say.
You have that streak of knockouts. Just in case it doesn't come early, are you prepared to go the distance?
I'm always prepared. I never got tired in any of my bouts. I'm always constantly running the miles I'm supposed to be and doing the rounds I'm supposed to in the gym, sparring. So I'm always well prepared.
Tell us about those sparring sessions, because I also want to touch up on I don't want to say it's personal, but I got to ask this because lately this has been the $1 million question, man, and I'm talking about weight cutting. How's your weight going, and how's your sparring sessions going? And how's training camp going?
My whole training camp, like I said, has been going good. I got all the right sparring sessions in, right amount of rounds in. I've been sparring with some guys from the Bay Area, 19 professional fights, and I've been doing really, really well.
That's good.
So I feel really confident to go in this fight.
Cole, going in and fight,
knowing I'm gonna get a knockout.
There you go. You're not short of confidence. This question is for Cole Escovedo. Cole, knowing that, do you ever think to yourself, what didn't I not do? Did I do everything to prepare me for this fight? Once you're walking out your ring walk, your cage walk, you ever question if you missed anything?
If you have that thought in your head before the fight happens, the answer is yes, you didn't do something, and you didn't.
I feel like that question usually takes place right after weigh-ins, and when you start getting yourself nourished. I feel like that's when I would ask myself, did I do everything I was supposed to do?
Really?
And then it's kind of like a quick little checklist, and you just got to remember back when you're dying during practice and you just wanted it to be over, but then you dug deep and pushed for another round. I mean, if you can't remember those times in training camp, then you didn't do everything you were supposed to.
I can see that. I've always saved it for the debrief for after the fight. Yeah. Then go on. Even if you win, it's, hey, you had like really sloppy takedown, or dude, you looked really tired at the end of the first round. We clearly need to change the cardio, or your wrestling sucked, or this worked really well. That training technique we tried worked really well. How'd you feel? And I felt great. So I've never done it until after a fight. Never questioned anything.
Hector, 147s. I believe you started your career at 140. Is that correct?
Yeah, this fight's gonna be at 47, but my first fight was at 140. My second fight was at 142, 143, I think. And my third fight was at 45, and this fight is gonna be at 147.
But I've watched some of your work. I mean, where's that weight at? You look good. 147s. I'm not saying it's going to be your home, but you look good at 147s. How are you feeling carrying that extra 7 pounds?
I feel really strong at 147 and 140. I think I can handle both weight classes. But after this fight, maybe I'll do one more at 147, and then from there, hopefully I drop down to 140 again.
I'm
do my work in that weight class.
You know what? I got to ask you this, and you could, if you want to talk about it, that's fine. If not, I'll shy away from it. Tell us in 30 seconds. I believe at one time when you were coming up here in Fresno, we have another guy here in Fresno in your weight class. He had a belt, and that fight never materialized. And I'm talking about, did you ever get close to fighting Saul Lomas at all?
No, I never got close to it because when they offered me that fight, I took it, and and I think he was about getting ready to retire, so it never really got to happen.
Okay. Well, I'm friends with you both, and I'm glad it never happened. It's just I wanted to ask you myself because I heard different rumblings about that, and I'll move on from that. I'm not here to stir anything up because I know you got a promising career ahead of you.
Saul's a good guy. He's a good fighter too, 9-0.
Yeah, no, Saul was a class act. I like what Saul was doing, and I like the way he's reinventing himself, life after boxing. And this is something that I wanted to ask you. Okay, that just means we got 1 minute, but you have 30 seconds. Tell me again, when the fans are yelling your name and you're walking, making that ring walk all the way down, what do you anticipate happening? I mean, just you're going to be at all because you're finally fighting in your hometown, or is it just another fight to you?
You know, when I walk in the ring, I think I'm going to be really happy, excited, and I'm just going to be really confident because I know I prepared real good, and I'm just going to be happy because all the work that I had put into the gym, it's all going to pay off in the boxing ring, and I'm just going to be ready to do work.
That's good. You know, we're going to be down there to cover it right now. We're going to take a commercial break, but I want you and your brother to stay on the line because we're going to close with you. We'll be coming right back on AM 1680, The Fighter's Voice.
You are listening to The Fighter's Voice on AM 1680.
Right now, we gotta take a break. You know.
Pay some bills. So be ready for some head banging, lip smacking, heart attacking, fight talk. Because every fighter has a voice.
He is. Kilo's kind of outthink you. He's trying to get you out there too, but Hector just comes
on you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He invades your personal space.
Yeah. As he's like Mayday in MMA. He's young and just comes straight down the pipe on you because there's just no reason not to.
You think you're invincible, and when you crack everybody and you're hanging with these older guys, you
have no reason not to to feel that way.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, hopefully something happens in like a sparring session or training or something that everybody kind of goes,
okay, let's work on that.
That just got you caught. Why'd you get caught?
Yeah.
And then some guy maybe just keeps catching with it and keeps catching him with it. And they're like, why do you keep getting caught? And he's like,
practice room.
Exactly, yeah. Learn it in the gym. That way you're not learning it in the ring and go, okay. Because people all the time, you see commentators talk about how I saw him fight like 6 months ago and he's completely different. I don't know what they changed. They changed something, but he's still dominating.
Especially if you can just tweak that. Exactly.
Controlled aggressiveness.
Exactly.
Burst, not auto fire.
Exactly.
Don't hit me, Rich. Don't hit me.
Just break me down with some of that fight talk. The Fighter's Voice. Right here. And remember, every fighter has a voice. And so do you. So let's get ready to you know what. Right here on The Fighter's Voice.
And we're back here at AM 1680, The Fighter's Voice. Voiceography at its finest. Every fighter has a voice, and so does our guest, Ector Madera. Hey, Hector, I want you to go ahead and stay on the line real quick. I got to knock these bills out and knock out all these announcements. A big thank you to our guest, Bellator's MMA, Chris the Cut Honeycutt, and both Kilo and Hector, who will be going to war this Friday in Stockton, California. Thanks for joining us at the Fighter's Voice Radio Show live stream. Catch the rebroadcast of the Fighter's Voice Radio Show every Saturday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And again on Sunday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., only on AM 1680, The Answer. Subscribe to our IG at The Fighter's Voice. Go to our webpage, thefightersvoice.com, for extra interviews and video segments. Subscribe to our page, thefightersvoice.com. Like us and follow us on my Facebook page, The Fighter's Voice, Richard Ortiz. And we go back and forth and we stream them and we stretch them. And a very big thank you. I want to say this right now. Did we ever cue that up with Manny Pacquiao? No, we didn't? Okay, well, oh, you got it? Okay, I want to cue this up right now before I personally thank Manny Pacquiao and Sean Gibbons. Listen to listeners. Go ahead, Mr. Engineer.
Just want to give a shout out to your son again. Thumbs up for Richie. God bless. He's always been Thank you, Richie. Thank you.
If you can make that out, that was Manny Pacquiao. That was Sean Gibbons giving my son Richie a thumbs up. It went national and went global, and I appreciate that. So at this time, it's rare when people say they really want to thank somebody. I really want to thank the new WBA welterweight champion of the world, Manny Pacquiao, for doing that, giving Richie a thumbs up. For Sean Gibbons, class act, for streaming that, sending it to me. I appreciate that. That was heartfelt. And it lets me know exactly that I'm doing the right thing and why I became the Fighter's Voice. I wanted to say thank you. And I also want to say thank you to all the streamers, all the listeners who's been tuning in this weekend. And I'll see you at the fights. The Fighter's Voice will be there. I have the opportunity to grab the mic, and I'll be re-announcing the event this Friday in Stockton, California. Chris, the Cut Honeycutt, I got a pair of tickets for you, my man. Any chance you guys going Friday?
Any chance we're going Friday?
Man, you better come, bro.
Yeah.
I like how he looks over. He's like,
Hey, did you hear Hector? He said you better
Yeah,
come.
better come. I got a place up there too, so
Come watch us knock somebody out, bro.
yeah, I look forward to it.
Co, I got a pair of tickets for you. You want to come to Stockton, California?
What day is it?
It's on Friday, my man.
I got work.
Hector
man.
Madera, Kilo the
I gotta
Kid.
live that casino life, man.
Okay. Hey, Kilo, I want you to stay on the line. I'm going to close in about 45 seconds. There's going to be the outro to the music. The radio show's going to be completely over, but you hang on because we're going to give all the viewers and all the listeners a sample of the Fighter's Voice podcast. I'm not saying get down and dirty and gritty, but more comfortable. You can be comfortable and you can be yourself.
Relax.
So just yes, exactly, relax. I'm not talking. Hey, put that. Are you rolling something up? That's too relaxed.
That's too relaxed.
Yeah, that's too relaxed.
Too
That's too relaxed. Now, we're having a good time here on the Fighter's Voice radio show. Thank you for your questions, your comments. You, the viewers, the listeners, you make us who we are today. And, you know, we got some big news that we want to drop, but I just can't do it right now. Just can't do it right now, but
Dude,
just
that's
stand
like
by.
not finding the right offer.
Exactly, just stand by. Hey, this is Rich Ortiz of the Fighter's Voice radio show. Co Escovedo, my co-host. It's a wrap here in Fresno, California. And as always, thumbs up for Richie. Hey, keep them going. We're still streaming. You there, Kilo?
Yeah, I'm right here, bro.
Okay, Kilo. You are the first guest on the Fighter's Voice podcast. This is just a preview of what to come. So I really want to know, I want your honest opinion. When you walk in the ring Friday, what can we expect? And you can let it all fly out.
You can expect me to come out to kill and be focused and just put all the work that I put in the gym, man. Just all the blood, sweat, and tears. Let it all out, man. I'm coming for it. I've been training hard, and I'm hoping to get the knockout. If I don't get the knockout, it's going to be a war. And if it's not a war, I'm just going to put a fucking beat down on this guy.
Okay. Hey, you know, when it's fight week and we're a little edgy, you know exactly what he's talking about. What's he feeling right now, Chris?
Oh yeah, no, I mean this is one where it's like I say the worst part about it is the waiting game. It's like you want to just want to take care of business now, and it's like especially when I'm cutting weight, it's like I'm 8 pounds to lose. It's like I want to just do it now to get it over with, but you can't because you got to wait. You got to
Just sleep next to the ring and just get it done, huh?
Yeah. You get antsy. I mean that's how you know you had a good camp. You had a good rest period. Is you just can't sit still.
It's the fun parts here. That's the fun part.
It's like that. It's like almost to recess, and you're like ready to go.
Right, you're looking at the clock going, come on.
Kilo, so are you like an untamed lion right now? I mean, it's fight week. Are you just real edgy, or are you focused, or right now you just don't give a flying freak?
Nah, I think I'm pretty focused, and I'm just waiting for the moment to come, and I'm just really just waiting, man. I really can't wait, to be honest, more than anything.
Yeah, a little antsy.
I just want to make get the weight over with, and I just want that bell to ring. As soon as that bell rings, I already know what to do.
You know, I saw one of your buddies this past weekend. I did an event for Andre Ward, and you know, what have you learned from him when you would go in there as a sparring partner, and also he kind of took you on his wing, gave you some great advice, and we're talking about the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, and he retired as undefeated. What did you learn going down to Hayward, California, with the champ?
I learned a lot of things, you know, just staying composed and using my jab a lot, you know, using my feint, working up and down, you know, just a lot of jabs, my straight punches more than anything, you know, my jab in my right hand, and just resetting myself back into position to be always ready to throw more punches. You know, I've always been a guy who comes out and just tries to kill you and fucking throws a lot of power punches and a lot of punches in general, you know, and I just want to hurt you when I get out there, you know, but going out there, obviously that was good, you know, that I had that animal instinct and that dog in me because he was fighting Kovalok, which was like that kind of guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a very tough fighter.
Yeah.
But me going over there, like all the rounds that I got in there with him, it just taught me to be composed and, you know, reset my shots and just get my positioning back and use my straight punches, you know, more than anything a lot. And that's one thing that I try to focus on right now, my straight punches, so I can have my distance a lot.
Yeah.
And but now more than ever, I'm using my footwork at the same time too, and I'm pivoting my hooks and my uppercuts and all my punches even more, so I can pretty much everything can land with power, but be right in position to land another power shot and to just pretty much never get out of position or not to really lose my balance. You know, whether I'm on the inside, whether I'm on the outside, just to pretty much have full control of that ring every second.
You know, Cole, you're hearing that, and you're hearing this young fighter. You've been there before. By hearing that, what's your take on this? He's well groomed. Everything's in order. Everything's right on time. Is there anything that he's leaving out? Any advice for him?
No, I mean, there's always advice to give, but like I said, I'm more of a debrief post scenario type guy. But it sounds like he's not distracted is always a big thing. He sounds like he's focused on what needs to be done. The hard part, like you said, it's a mental thing. Like, fight's not till Friday? What is it, Tuesday? Keeping the mental edge on that and the focus is the hard part. So all the hard work's been done. Now the hard part is just the mental, and then just making sure he stays on point for weight. There's no real advice that you can give to those kind of things because everyone's different. Everybody deals with it different. Just try to make sure you find something that keeps you focused and just find it to keep referring to it as you go on through the days so you can stay that way.
Kilo, what's your day like? Tell us in 30 seconds. What's your day like during this fight week? I mean, what does it consist of? Because I know it's crunch time. You're winding down right now.
Right now, I'm pretty much just, like today I woke up. It's like sometimes I still have to go on radios and stuff. So like today in the morning, we woke up and we went to K-Win, which is one of the bigger radio stations out here.
Yeah.
And we went to the K-Win, did some interviews over there. And then after that, me and my brother just went for breakfast. And I kind of just relaxed all day. And then I went to came to the boxing gym, got a good workout. Just pretty much some last minute tuning up. I'm gonna check my weight later tonight. If I'm pretty on track to what I should be on, I'll just rest. But if I'm like not 100% on track, then I'll probably go for a good run, try to sweat a couple pounds off. Have probably a little something light, and then get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow will probably be the hardest day. I'll probably have to wake up and maybe run and do my training. But
right there.
As far as tomorrow's when I'm gonna start drying out. Tonight I can still drink a lot of water and everything, but tomorrow's when I'm gonna start the drying out. Start not drink water after a certain amount of time and limit what I'm eating, and then pretty much tomorrow at this time I'm gonna be dried out because the weigh-ins are gonna be at 11, so I'm gonna be pretty much drying out over
Thursday
and overnight. Yeah, 'cause tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah. So
yeah.
That way,
okay. So he's only got to make it another 24. That's what I was.
When I sleep into Thursday, I can be waking up. I'm gonna wake up maybe with a small stomach and maybe a little dry mouth, and then I'm hoping within those couple hours because I always lose like another pound the day of the weigh-in, like just naturally, just by not eating and by waiting. But if everything's on point, then hopefully I can have a little breakfast.
Chris, from your experience as a wrestler and cutting weight, does it seem to be right on track?
Yeah, I mean it's. I obviously people are different. Some people like to lose the weight the night before. The majority of it, I tend to lose most of it the day of. I don't mind getting up at 7 in the morning, taking 7-8 pounds off. But yeah, I know in wrestling that's where I used to lose all the weight the night before I wake up on weight. But no, it's good to be able to get up and eat something small and get a little workout in. It's the best time to get your workout anyways.
You know what, Kilo, I'm going to let you go because I know you got some other obligations. I appreciate you. We appreciate you taking time. But I will say this for the record, man. There's no other show out there like this that mixes MMA, that mixes boxing, and you guys get to go back and forth and just help each other out and respect each other's craft, whether it's in the boxing ring or it's in the cage. Kilo, you've always been a class act, and you've always been a straight shooter. I look forward to seeing you Friday. It's going to be a privilege and an honor to announce your name in the main event. Chris, anything to say to him?
Yeah, you out there and take care of business and whoop his ass.
Cool.
Same, man.
Yeah, man.
Good
and
luck.
to anybody out there listening, Friday night, come out to Stockton 209. We're going to get it. You want to see a knockout? Guarantee me and my brother coming to fuck somebody up. So come through.
Hey, you heard it out of his words. It's a wrap here. Hey, the podcast, it lives. Thumbs up for Richie.
Thumbs up.
All right. Thank you, Kilo.
All right, bro.